Why are these niggas laughing? Why are these niggas laughing?
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Slim Paco coming at y'all again with another video. How's everybody doing? Hope this one finds you well. Hey, so the NFL Combine just happened, so you know what it is. Time to talk about them boys again, the Buffalo Bills. Wanted to give my mock draft for what I think the Bills should do this year. At least my first one. I'm sure there'll be more as I look through more tape and try to figure out who I think would be the best fit on the Bills. But I think there's gonna be some surprises in here. Some y'all might disagree. Y'all might agree with me. But hey, that's enough talking. Let's get into the video. Roll it!
In my world, the Buffalo Bills made 12 draft picks, including a really surprising one in the first round. And I think that the Bills are going to trade up with the Denver Broncos and select the best cornerback coming out of the draft. I know a lot of people are going to hate on this idea because they want a wide receiver in the first round, but I think we can either draft a very good receiver in the second round of a super deep wide receiver draft class, or we can just sign somebody, or we can just keep Gabe Davis. But I like Cooper DeJean as a compliment across from Rasul Douglas, but at the very least, he could sit for a year as the Bills decided what to do with Tre'Davious White. Though he didn't work out at the Combine, DeJean registered 41 tackles and 2 picks at Iowa last year. I think he's a generational talent and would be the best selection for the Bills in round 1. In round 2, the Bills drafted wide receiver and picking Xavier Legette, the speedster from South Carolina. Legette was originally expected to be a high pick in last year's draft, but decided to come back for school for a 5th season. He registered 1,255 yards and 7 touchdowns on 71 receptions before showing out at the Combine, running a solid 4.3940 and registering a 40-inch vert. I think Legette would be a solid number 3 if the Buffalo Bills do decide to cut Gabe Davis, but he could also be number 4 and play mostly special teams alongside Justin Shorter in his rookie year in case Davis does come back. I think no matter what the situation is, he would see the field. So last year, Von Miller was probably the biggest detriment on the Bills' D-line, which is a very capable unit besides. So I think drafting a D-lineman in the 3rd round would be a nice pickup. And yeah, this guy might be a bit of a reach, but I still think he'd be a good fit. Talking about Mekhi Wingo, who primarily played tackle at LSU last year, D-tackle, so they moved him around the line quite a bit. Some ranked him as a sleeper pick, and I think he's going to be the next great player on the Bills' defense. 11 tackles from the nose tackle position and 4.5 sacks in just 8 games. That shows explosiveness and physicality, which is something the Bills desperately need on the line. The next thing for the Bills to figure out is what they're going to do about Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde at the safety position. Those two are probably the best safeties in the NFL, especially the best safety duo, but they're both in their early mid-30s and they both showed signs of losing a step or two last season, and they both also struggled with injuries. However, I think the perfect replacement for at least one of them is a kid from Utah named Cole Bishop. Bishop made the second team Pac-12 with the Utes in 2023 and totaled 35 tackles. That's not including 3 sacks. He also picked off 2 passes. I like him in our secondary, especially after his performance at the Combine, where he ran a 4.45 dash and a 39-inch vert. He would be the perfect selection as our 4th pick, although there's a lot of growing hype around him that has him going much earlier in the draft. But if he can last till then, yeah, go get him, Bills. At number 5 is going to be Luke McCaffrey, the younger brother of 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey is a wide receiver from Rice who had a pretty underrated season, kind of lurking in the background like Stephon versus Diggs in Vampire Diaries. Don't ask me how I know about that. But he grabbed 963 yards and 12 touchdowns in his senior year. At the Combine was the first time people really started to take notice of him, as he ran a 4.47 time. Not the fastest for a receiver, but I wouldn't expect him to start off the jump as a number 1 with Buffalo. I wouldn't even expect him to be a starter. He was graded with some of the best hands in the draft class, which is impressive given just how deep this year's class is. I like him as a 4th or 5th option in Buffalo, progressing to a higher one over the next couple of years if we do end up taking him. So there's 7 more picks for us to make, and I don't think I'm going to go through every single one as in-depth as I did the last 5. So the next 7 picks is going to be a little speed evaluation. Ready? Go! At number 6, Tyron Hopper, linebacker from Mizzou. 6'2", 221-pound linebacker with good size and speed, would be a solid backup alongside Balen Spector and Tyrell Dodson. He's good in pass coverage, so he could play off Spector as more of a run stopper, though he struggles with tackling at times. Number 7, Jawhar Jordan, running back from Louisville. After releasing Nyheim Hines, we need another running back, and I think Jordan would be a great number 3 due to his shiftiness and catching ability. He'd sort of be like a poor man's James Cook. Number 8, Brennan Jackson, edge from Washington State. He's a run-stopping specialist with the potential to turn into an extremely solid 3-technique player if his progression pans out right. I like that he was a 2-time second-team Pac-12 player, which means he has recognizable skills that should translate well to the NFL. Number 9, Garrett Greenfield. The versatile offensive lineman from South Dakota State, who measures in at 6'6" and 311 pounds, I think he could be a solid replacement for Ryan Bates, who we literally just traded to the Chicago Bears. Or at the very least, Greenfield would be a capable backup in case of injury to someone like Spencer Brown. Number 10, Joe Milton III, quarterback from Tennessee. Milton didn't have the season most expected he would in 2023, but he really showed out, balled out at the Combine, having the hardest throw at 62 miles per hour, which is the hardest since Josh Allen's throw at the Combine, and the farthest throw, 74 yards, which is also the farthest since, guess who, Josh Allen at the Combine. At 6'5" and 232 pounds, he's an athletic freak just like Josh Allen, and would be a good development and trade piece for Buffalo, as well as a serviceable backup if necessary. Number 11, Jaquan Jackson, wide receiver from Tulane. Another small but speedy wide receiver to add to the Bills roster alongside Khalil Shakir and Stephon Diggs. He'd be a great addition to the Bills' weird North Coast offense as he specialized in the short yardage game. He's also a deadly return man, so it'd be a good replacement for Deontay Hardy if we decide to move on from him. Number 12, last but definitely not least, as we've seen from Brock Purdy, the Bills' final selection will be the tight end from Arizona, Tanner McLaughlin. The Canadian-born player is a bit undersized for a tight end at 6'5" and 245 pounds, but had 45 catches for 528 yards and 4 TDs for a resurgent Wildcat squad in 2023. He also ended up breaking Rob Gronkowski's career receptions record at Arizona. I think McLaughlin would be a good replacement for Quentin Morris as another young tight end for Allen to target on third downs.
Well, that's the video. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think of the Bills draft selections I put there? Do you guys agree with them? Do you guys disagree? Y'all can let me know in the comment section down below. Now, since I started recording and working on this video, there's been a lot of changes to the Bills roster. I mean, we've basically cut so many people. Mitch Morse, Davis White, Jordan Poyer. Woof! I mean, Siren Neal, Deontay Hardy. It's kind of crazy how many people we've released. And I guess I'll be working on a video for that too, discussing that. But you guys can let me know what you guys think about those changes down there in the comment section down below. Or anything else regarding free agency, this early part of free agency in the NFL. That's for me, your boy Slim Vaco. I'm gonna get some sleep, it's late. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Later! Go Bills!